Fate Zero Rant Part 2. If you like Fate Zero, that's okay, I respect your opinion. Let's start. Many people consider this as the better anime of the Fate franchise. The anime and light is awful in itself. The first problem is that is a prequel of a bad show, Fate Stay Night, and it tried to be more serious when the original show was stupid. I'm gonna tell you the main issues that this prequel have. This review covers both seasons of Fate/Zero. 1. The story can be summed up in 2 words, forced grimdark. Characters suffer and die for no apparent reason other than to make the show darker and edgier. Spoiler: why was Korea even in there? Most of these characters don't even become relevant until Fate Stay Night. That Rin episode was fucking awful, it had no relevance to the plot whatsoever. As was the Kiritsugu backstory, which I thought was 2 long episodes of nothing but forced drama. Kiritsugu keeps being put into implausible situations where he has to kill his own parents. He killed father because he might accidentally turn everyone into zombies. Natalia forgets to bring a parachute on a mission where she's on a plane containing wasps that turn people into zombies because Ma feels. Kiritsugu could have put Avalon into Ma healing her wounds instantly instead of letting her die, but didn't, because Ma feels. Lancer died like a bitch because Ma feels. Totally didn't steal Lancer kill yourself from the original Fate Stay Night. Korea strangles Aoi even though we're told earlier on that he loves her because Ma feels. Why are there so many irrelevant characters, and why do they all have to die in the most pathetic way possible? Example, Iskander. Big-hearted and funny guy, right? Better kill him off in the most retarded way possible to increase Ma feels. And yes, it is retarded because Iskander had absolutely no reason to gallop 5 miles away from Gilgamesh when he could have put Gilgamesh slap bang into the middle of Ionian Hittyroi, giving him no chance to pull out EA. It's funny because the historical Alexander the Great was a shrewd and cunning general, the polar opposite of the Fate Zero Iskander. Was the serial killer couple put in there for any reason other than to make the anime darker and edgier? This is what I call forced grimdark, having characters suffer and kill each other for no reason other than to make the viewer sad. To the character, and now we're back at the actually bad stages. These characters, if they can even be called that, lack 2 of the most basic factors, depth and development. Let's start off with depth, shall we? Most of these characters are either complete jerks or just not worth caring about. Listen Urobuchi, if you're going to randomly kill of your characters for pure shock value, you are a fucking dumbass. Moving on to the MC, Kiritsugu, and oh my, what an absolutely horrible character he was from start to finish. He has absolutely no redeeming qualities to speak of. A man who is willing to betray his own family, I'll leave it at that as to not spoil anything, solely for his own personal gain. There is literally no reason to root for him, and honestly, if I had cared about any of the other characters, I would have rooted against him. And when that happens, both the writer and the character have failed in one of the most basic aspects of a story. However, out of all the characters who originated in this show, there was a small beacon of hope, known as Ryder. He was a very good character, in concept. Sadly, Urobuchi didn't even do the best he could with him. Oh, but don't worry, the characters are adults and that's original. That automatically makes them awesome. Again, no. Maybe if they had actually been executed in a decent manner, I might have considered giving it points for that, but they don't act any more like adults than the typical high school MC does, so no. And after having watched this, I saw juvenile shounen-like Fate/Stay Night anime series from 2006. It's almost beyond my belief that malusers, as of early 2015, rate Fate/Zero so well and Fate Stay Night so badly. Yes, 2006 anime is cliched. Its stereotypical high school protagonist whines too much. There is a generic romance plot. Hell, the whole coming-of-age plot is ultra-generic. And yes, it's more light-hearted. But even if Fate Stay Night as whole is trash, I prefer much more over than piece of shit Zero, even though I was spoiled by prequel. The creators of Fate Zero failed to notice that it's not enough to be darker and edgier to have a good plot and interesting characters. The art part of the anime is only thing in which creators didn't fail. But it annoys me that more, when I watch skillfully soundtracked, brilliantly animated boring fights between inexplicably boring characters. Honestly, you are probably just repeating what some other fanboy has said almost word for word. You clearly have no idea about the development of Fate/Zero, interviews and Nasu's involvement. It almost seems like a waste to try to explain. This is on you. The interviews mean nothing when I remember that Eurobucher had a chance to make it right in FGO and almost made it even worse before Nasu literally stepped in and took the reins from him. Fate/Zero itself was fully written by Eurobucher, and Nasu did nothing except approve of some of the ideas he set forth, so Nasu had virtually no involvement at all, and I have read Fate Zero before. It is dogshit that acts less of a story of hope, however slight like most of the series, and is instead a nihilistic book of tripe from a man who is thinly disguising his. It is trash of the highest order. And 3 edgelord levels. The way that some characters suffer before they die are unjustified, and it's only a resource to get audiences' attention. Also, there are filler episodes in order to show the suffering, in other words, more edgelord pile of shit. And that's why I like Fate Extra, Extella, Prisma Ilia Fate Apocrypha, and Fate Grand Order much more than Zero and Stay Night. Because Extra Exitla Prisma Ilia Apocrypha and Grand Order much more light-hearted and better, than those piles of shit Zero and Stay Night.